On today's episode of the Proper Property Podcast, we've got Rob Barr. He's going to tell us how he went from working on the rigs to a 7-figure property investment business. This one's going to be good. Right, so welcome, Rob.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
How's things going?
Good. Yeah, you're in Steel City with you. Can't be bad, can it?
It's a bit better than Hull.
Yeah, it's marginally.
All right, I'll take it. So if you want to start off, just tell us a little bit about yourself. So a quick intro to you, what it is that you're doing now, and then we'll talk about what you've done in past.
Sound. So yeah, been doing property now for about 6 years. Flips, did my own residential, and then eventually got into doing them on my own. And then since then done JVs, different sort of partnerships, different deal structures, going up to 2, 3, 4 bed. Now into commercial, and basically started coaching. So it's progressed quite quick over the last 2 years. And yeah, that's where I'm at now. So going well so far. Stressful, but good.
So how did you actually get into property then? Where did it all start?
I didn't actually know I was doing it. So a mate of mine was doing, when I used to work offshore on ships and oil rigs and stuff like that, and a mate of mine was doing it. And he was doing buy-to-lets like we was just talking about, but he was just buying and holding. And he told me about BRI. He said, oh, you can do it in your personal name, tax efficient, etc. So I was like, hang on a minute. So bought my first house and did it up. I sold it about 9 months later, made about 18 grand. I thought, it's all right, get a bit of that. So I did another one and another one. And before I knew it, I thought, well, if I can do this from my personal, why aren't I doing it on the side? And I just started doing it. But the first one like I was doing was, I had like, I think I had about 10 or 12 grand, a trade account, a credit card, a grand in saving. Do you know, and you're just pulling it from everywhere to make this deal work. Did it, and then got the money back, did another one. And as I started building up a bit of momentum with it, and people started looking, and then obviously started attracting investment, which was bizarre because I thought, who's going to want to invest in me? But people did, and then that's sped up even more since. So it's it's good. It's a real good position to be in, but something I've never thought would have ever happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's really strange. I think when you are doing something and people start to recognise it, that little switch of oh shit, people are recognising that I'm doing something good, and they want to get involved. It's really strange. And that first investor, when they're like, oh, I want to give you this money and just give me a return, or well, let's get in on it together.
That's it. I think it's depending on you, but like my background is, as I said, I was on ships for years and rigs, but then before that, it was always like hard manual labour jobs like groundworking or drains or something that nobody wanted to do. But the way to earn money was graft. So it was like, you want a bit more money, right? You're going to do Saturday, Sunday. You're going to do nights. And you just graft and graft. And then when people are like, no, I'm willing to invest in you, and you're kind of, like it's a bit more brain power, you kind of think, right, well, I'll have to stack this deal. And all of a sudden you like go from that realm of grafter to developer, and you kind of like, this is a role that I'm in, what I didn't intend on being in, but then all of a sudden it's like, this is where I want to be. Like someone offered me a job the other week, going back working away, and I thought about it. I thought, nah, this is. I'm all right here now. This is where I want to be. Like I'm at a tipping point where I could quite easily have gone, yeah, I'll do that and that, but I don't think that's going to take me where I want to go now. You know what I mean?
So, I think you do get to a point where it is about the time. It's not all about the money. You can, and especially in the UK, you can spend money very, very quickly. But the time with your family. Well, I've got kids. Have you got kids?
Yeah, got kids, yeah.
So that time becomes way more valuable. I look at things now, like if someone's going to take me away from my family, there's a value attached to that. And it's not cheap.
No.
To take my time up, I have to put a price on it. And if you're taking me away from my kids, it's going to cost you.
That's it, innit? It's like, it's one of them mad things, and it's like, time's the only currency that you can't get back
Yeah.
out of everything. You can literally like spend money, you know, even if something don't go right, a deal don't go right, you're like, oh, it don't matter. But if you've lost the time, especially when they're young, I mean, that's my little one, bless her, I said little, she's nearly 14. Well, I spent a lot of time working away and for money, obviously. Oh, money's good. If I could do it again now, I'd just 100% be back here because you can't get it back.
Yeah.
We're lucky that we've got a good relationship, but definitely like looking back now, the time would have been more valuable than the money. The money's gone, you know.
Yeah.
But
thingy. I do think that they appreciate. Well, my kids often said to me like, "Oh, Dad's got to go to work." Well, I say work, but it's what I'm doing now with property stuff. And you can see that they appreciate it and they know why you're doing it and why you're having to take that time away. But I think mentally it does get quite straining on you. You think, why the fuck am I doing this? Like I'll be sat here in office at like 9 o'clock at night and I think, I just want to go home and just be with my kids. I quit my job to do this. And now I'm still fucking here. but I can go back. And I think as well it's important that there's them times where I don't have to ask someone's permission to go and watch my kid's sports day. I don't have to ask someone's permission to go for a piss. Literally, I can you can do it. I'm on my diary. As it is slightly restricted, but I am on my diary. If I say I'm going to watch my kid's sports day, I'm going to watch my kid's sports day. So so let's just go back a little bit then. So when you said that you were on the rigs, so you were on rigs. I've got a friend who works on rigs, and there's a lot of people on rigs that invest in property. Is that because of the time that they're away and they're able to build up a pot? Do you think that's what it is?
I think what it is a lot of it's well spoken about, you know, it's like a bit of a rig culture, like, oh, he's got a few properties, and obviously you'll be, if you're on a rig with a certain group of people and you're maybe 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off, if you're with that same team, it'll be like, oh, I bought another house when I'm back home, you know, like, when I was doing it, the money was decent, so you could easily bank, you know, 10 grand every few months, say 10, 15. But then bear in mind I'm going back now, when I started going away in 2012, you could buy an house for 50 grand. So what, 12.5 grand deposit? Something like that, you know, like it's not a great deal. And you could literally like snap up these houses. Obviously mortgages was a lot friendlier, lending restrictions, you know, it wasn't like stress tested to death. So people was just buying and buying. And then you obviously get guys who flip because 3 weeks at home, they're not really doing a lot. So they think, oh, I'll do a flip. And one of the guys we're real good friends now, he comes from a wedding and all the rest. He was doing it and he always peaked me, oh, I've just bought this. It's paying me, let's say, 300, 400 quid a month. This was when things was really good. You're like, freaking hell, what, 300, 400 quid? And back then, I remember you saying outside there, buy to let then you needed about 10. So people was like, 10 was the magic number where you could slowly step away from it. Whereas now, obviously, it's what, 20, 30, maybe just to make, like, people used to sort of focus on 4 grand a month. It was like, oh, if I make 4 grand a month, I can stop going offshore. Whereas now, in today's world, unfortunately, 4 grand a month, it's a decent wage, but it's not going to give you a lifestyle where you can just do what you want all the time. Whereas back then, it actually did. You know, 4 grand went a lot further in 2012 than it does now. It's sort of like
I think 2012, I think I were on about 900 quid a month.
Well, that's it. When I started, when I went away, but I went on a lot more. I was working in drainage, and I ended up getting this job. It's a bit of a bad story, but also it worked out really well. I got banned from driving, and I sold my car, sold everything, and I paid for these courses to go away. Couldn't drive, so I thought, what job do I need where I don't need a car? Because I'd come from a background where I was a mobile drainage engineer, so couldn't have a job, couldn't work. All right, that'll do it, I'll do that. But luckily it like turned my life around because I stopped drinking, stopped being wild, and it really straightened me out because you can't, I'd gone from like living one life to another, and it was like reform, you know what I mean? It was good for me. But yeah, it was a long time ago now.
I think coming back to the rig, I think people always say, like, it's the people that you hang around with. And I think that because you were forced into that situation, they always say, like, if you hang around with 5 alcoholics, you'll be the 6th alcoholic. 100%. If you hang around with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th millionaire. Yeah. If you were having to hang around and forced to be hanging around with 5 people that were investing in property, it weren't going to take long till you became the 6th property investor.
I make a real... I've got probably same as you now. You are the king of networking, you know. Is that the self-proclaimed?
Well, someone said that.
But it's like now I make a point of some of the people I spend a lot of time with. They just think different, you know. Like I've got one mate. I meet him every Sunday morning, and he's just, I think his company's valued 12.8 million quid. If you saw him, you'd probably just think average Joe from down the street. But the way his mind works is absolutely... You'll give him an idea and he's like back calculated it and give you everything. And you're like, how have you done that? But that's what's got him to where he is. Yeah. So I've got another guy who I speak to, him on the Sunday morning, on the Sunday night, and he literally sets you up for the week because you listen to these people and you're like, you're mind-blowing, the way they think and whatever else. And it's like, but when you're young, you don't think like that, do you? You just kind of like... We've got enough for the pub. We've got enough for a takeaway. Yeah, we're sound.
It does inspire you. It really does inspire you. You see, like a friend of mine, he's just bought a Lamborghini. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking. I used to knock about with people who were like they just got no aspirations. And to a degree, I'm not like knocking them. No. They're happy with a Vauxhall Corsa. Yeah. That's them. Yeah. If they've got no ambition to keep moving forward. Yeah. Sometimes you've just got to, as harsh as it sounds, just let them go. Yeah, you just keep going. You were going in a different direction, and you wanted more. And if you want more, sometimes you have got to cut some things out. Yeah. And you've got to think about you and your family at the end of the day. I think that's priority. That is it, isn't it?
Like, I mean, something I've been trying to, like, when I speak to people, especially like about coaching and stuff, is I'm not going to teach you to just grind yourself to death. I'll teach you quality of life, because there's no point, it's that old saying, in it, no point in being the richest man in the graveyard. Like, you've just ground yourself into the ground. And you can go one or two ways, I think. Is like, I went from having no aspirations, basically being a bit of a bum, so mad workaholic. And then I had to kind of reel it down. But it was a fear of poverty that made me just work. I'd gone from like being skint, having to go to my mum's and nick food out the freezer, to making half decent money. And then I had that mad fear, and people are like, just take a trip off, you're all right. And I'm like, no. I think at one point I did like 9 months without a day off, offshore was in Gran Canaria, then I sailed to Africa. But I was that worried that I was going to get laid off. I was like, I need to work. But then eventually you kind of like, you think, well, the money's always going to come back, but like you said, the time doesn't. And then you're like, a bit of a heavy sort of, fuck, I've just spent, I think I worked out, I'd done 9 years career and I'd spent a full 6 away. Wow. So you're never getting that back. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, like, it's not, you know, we're sat here now, everyone's happy, everyone's fed. It's not done me badly, but, you know, you definitely wish, miss that birthday, miss that party.
But I think you never know. Like, that could have been the grit that you needed to get where you are. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? If you'd have not done that, maybe you wouldn't have been sat here today.
I think we spoke about this privately before. It's like, it builds resilience. And like, you could, I don't know, your deal, what you're working on now, could fall down tomorrow and you'd go, right, what next? Yeah. You get out your pen and pad, start, and you're off you go. Some people get a flat tire and they're like crying, and it's on Facebook and Instagram, it's late, and you're like, fuck off. Yeah. Like, I've just lost 10 grand in this deal that's not materialised. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm having to start, you know, get going again. And some people have never had that. No. I find it bizarre as well, you know, like when you meet someone and, not nothing against, but everything's gone really well all the time, and you're like, God, if something bad actually happened, you're going to be wiped out, like, you're going to be devastated. Like, things happen and then you go, oh, fucking hell, that's a bit of shit. and then you get on, don't you? Get back on the horse and off you go.
Yeah. I think a good point with that is when you've come from nothing.
Yeah.
When you've truly come from the darkest places, you've been in the darkest places, you've had nothing. Literally, I was once asked, why do you want to be a millionaire? Like, people saw what I was doing and they were like, oh, you're en route to being a millionaire. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to be a millionaire. That's not the goal. Yeah. The goal is to not be where I was. Yeah. Where I remember there were me, my wife and my kids. Because we couldn't afford to put gas and electric on, we had to make a tent out of bed sheets in the living room and pretend that we were camping out and make it fun for kids. The kids. Yeah. And they were happy. They knew no different. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they were happy. But like, I felt like a failure. I was working. Yeah. I was working. I just weren't making enough to pay for things. We weren't making enough. I was like just over minimum wage. Yeah. And back then, again, like I say, fucking like 900 quid a month. It weren't a lot. And I've got, I had 2 kids at the time. Yeah. And the goal isn't to become this millionaire or whatever is to come. Yeah. My drive is to be as far away from that as possible. Yeah. So whatever I do, and I do want all the nice things that come with it, but whatever I can do to make sure 100% that never happens again, that's my goal.
Do you not find that sometimes, like, as you get further away from, let's just call it what it is, from being poor, you almost like your fight gets more. Like, you think, oh, I'm getting further away, but you're like, right, the next thing. And you're like, you probably could go, right, we're all right now. Everything's okay. Everything's working out. We can kind of thingy, but you're just like, it's like, I always think, I say it a lot, like, I fear it's like catching up with, like, I'm here and it's catching up with me and I'm like, nope, and you just keep going and going. But I don't think it's a bad thing. Like,
well, I think that catching up with you, that fear, it's UK government and HMRC. That's what's in my nightmares. The forward I get, the closer that they're getting.
I need to be careful. I'll get myself back on social media if I start going. But yeah, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong.
You are. You do better for yourself. Yeah. And then they're just catching up with you. And they're like, oh, hang on, mate. Now you're doing too good. Calm down. Calm down. We want that chunk. Yeah. We want a bit of that. We want a bit of that. Want a bit of that. And before you know it, you're back. I heard a thing the other day, and there were a guy in London. I don't know if it were on TikTok. And I think he was like saying, he's on like 250 grand a year in his household. Guy, I don't think, like, congratulations. He was like, no. He was like, I'm struggling. He went, I live in London. Yeah. He went, my rent's like 8 grand a month. And he was like, I'm getting 50% tax. Yeah. He was like, it's going down.
That's it. But people don't realise it, do they? Like, if you went, I've made 50 grand off this deal, and people go, well done. And you're like, yeah, but I've got to pay tax, got to pay this, got to pay that. And before you know it, it's like...
It's revenue. Yeah. Everybody... Yeah. And that's what all these property gurus scream, revenue. Yeah. And I said this over and over. Be careful what you're looking at online, because all they're telling you is big numbers to intrigue you and get you in.
I see loads. And again, I've been asked to do it and I don't do it. You know, when people they'll go, like, Love Rent Day, and they've got all the things going in the bank. And you're like, yeah, that's rent day gross. Yeah. That's not rent day after they've just paid a 700 quid electric bill, 500, and it soon comes down, and you're like, again, that's off to them people. They've maybe got 20 properties in the portfolio, but what you're looking at as a 40 grand day, by the time you've took everything off, might be 10 minus the tax. And before you know it, it's like, it's not all what it seems. But people don't say, disclaimer, this isn't real. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, we've talked about social media, haven't we? Yeah. And the controversial posts that people put on where they're trying to entice people in and get more likes and get people to see them over the actual being authentic and being yourself. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer showing yourself?
Yeah, authentic. I can't be anything else. Like, I think... Like I said outside, I'm one of these where if I ain't got nothing on in property, I'll literally say, right, not got nothing on. I can't really show you anything. I'm not...
Here's my computer screen. Yeah, Here's my computer screen. Here's my computer screen.
Like, what do you do? Do you go... Like, I've seen people, like, like, again, they'll maybe fill the page with quotes and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, well, you need to do this. And nope, no, not doing it. Like, I'm just not doing that. That's not who I am. This is it. Like, it's not all sunshine and lollipops. Like, but it does look that way to a lot of people from the outside looking in. And it's a funny one. And the more you watch it and the more you analyse it, the more you see of it, you know, like, you think, you know, like, for just an example, people, you know, they'll be doing big things, massive deals, and then they're pitching for 10 grand investment. Like, if you're doing millions of pounds worth of investment and you're pitching for 10 grand, there's something seriously wrong. You're having a cash flow problem right now.
Yeah.
So then millions of pounds worth of deals that you're doing are at what they are. And we all have cash flow issues, but just be honest, just say, a bit shit in business this month. We've had this go wrong, that's go wrong. Like, if you look at someone and it's all polished and all shiny, it's not real, is it? I mean, we have to, like, it's funny because me and you speak quite a bit. We never actually met. And I said to someone the other day, I think Johnny's one of my biggest supporters. We always like each other's stuff because it's genuinely real. But then you look at some stuff, I've had to mute a few people because I'm just like, that's not for me, you know?
Yeah.
And even...
And it can get to you.
Oh,
when you're seeing it and you think, instantly your brain just goes, they're talking shit.
Yeah.
They're talking shit. That's not real. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I think because people like us have seen behind the curtain as well, you always think like, oh, like, here we go again. Here we go again.
Yeah.
And they're making themselves look too good.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're making themselves, like you say, like they'll be saying bullshit about they've just done £1 million deal, they've just done this, done that. And then when they are asking for like 10 grand investment, no one's going to give them because they've made themselves look too good.
Yeah.
They've made themselves look like they don't need it. Yeah. And I think that's one of like problems that people come across is making themselves look too good.
That's it, because as I said, I done a course the other week, and the guy who was running this course, he said there's a massive trust recession at the minute. Basically, people they're coming round to it, they're seeing it. I mean, how often do you see on the socials again? You'll see someone say, "Oh, I've been stung. This guy's took this money. I paid this for a course. It wasn't real." And again, it's like, because you've been promised that and you've been delivered that. And I won't name names, but I've heard of some people who paid 25 grand plus for a course. They've never met the guy who runs the course. It's someone else who's their employee or whatever. And you know,
who's never had a property.
Exactly, yeah. That's it. And
all they've done is this guy's told them what they do.
Yeah.
And then they're teaching it to people.
Yeah.
They've never invested themselves. No. You're not getting the actual person who you're seeing on socials who's pushing it. It's just a business. That is their business. Yeah. It's churning revenue through courses that are made up from people that haven't done it.
The thing is, though, as well, unfortunately, this is one of them business ways. It is big business. Like, you could churn out, and people do, thousands and thousands of people a year, promising them this, probably making multi-millions of pounds in actual profit. People are seeing it don't work, but still want that dream, don't they? You know, like they'll get a credit card, 10 grand for this entry-level car, and they'll do it. And I'm not saying all costs are the same. People do have good results.
I think education is important.
Yeah, 100%.
If you can find the right education.
Yeah. I've paid for really good education, and I've been lucky. I've had 2 really good coaches. And then I've watched other people and heard other stories of people who are far more higher price point, and it's been a horror story. And you think, God, oh God. And it's so easy to get sucked in to the bright lights and go, oh, that's a bit... But I think a lot of it's... And again, you realise, don't you, when you get older, like, it's graft. This is graft, innit? Like, it's not what you think where you buy a couple of properties, you sit on them. It is graft. I mean, you probably left your job thinking, oh, this will be sound, but you're probably working hard now.
Oh, way harder. Yeah. I actually thought about it the other day, because I now work 24/7.
Yeah.
If you put that on an hourly rate, I'm on about 70p. It's not very good.
That's it. But it's the only thing that keeps you going is the passion, innit? That's it. And you know, this is going to get you to somewhere where your old job wouldn't. And that's the same as me. Like, I'm at a point, and again, being perfectly honest, I've got projects to deliver over the next 24 months. So it's going to be a case of every month, you've got to make sure investors are paid, builders are paid, whatever's left will be mine. And that's literally it. But then after 2 years, refinance, okay, all material, and then you think, right, I've got someone I can, I don't know, go on holiday, do this, do that. But that's what it's like, isn't it? It's peaks and troughs.
Yeah.
And I don't think with it, what I've learned as well is, it's not, it's savage, it's, God, there's 60 grand surplus in the bank. Fucking hell, we're in the overdraft. God, it's just like that. Like, there's no, like this, it's savage. And you're like, fucking hell. Like, and again, a lot of people invest with me, they understand, and I'll ring them and I'll be like, look, next month, bit tight, can I have an uplift of 10 grand? Like I said there, I'll be honest, I'll be like, it's a bit tight, refinance is late. And they'll be like, yeah, sound, there you go. And then you pay them back and whatever else. But
it's a people business.
Yeah.
Like really a lot of people think it's bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
It is not. It's a people business.
Yeah.
And you've got to have them straight conversations with people, and they'll respect you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get caught up in their head.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to tell them that I'm going to be late paying. I'm going to be... As long as you've put things... Like, I had an open conversation with an investor yesterday that's investing with us. And I just said, look, we haven't got crystal balls. I don't know future.
Yeah.
But if we go over our initial 12 months, we'll pay you 1% a month after that. We'll just keep going.
That's it. That is it.
And because shit does happen.
Yeah.
Things do go wrong.
Look at things now. This war, like as this war carries on, the rates will go up. So you don't know what your back end value is going to. Like it's really, you just don't have that thing. And again, something I do see a lot with people trying to propose an investment. It's like they're not the bank. You can't go, I want this for this, and that. I'll give. It's like these are people with feelings. It's probably their life savings.
It's their savings, yeah.
And you're going, this is what I'll offer. This, and you're like, at least take them for a meal and sit down and have a conversation with them. You see a lot of it, don't you? And it's like,
and I will only have people invest with us if we know them.
Yeah.
But it goes both ways.
Yeah.
We've got to get to know you. I don't want to be taking money from someone who I don't know. No. We've got to build a relationship and make sure that I can have them awkward conversations with you. Yeah. That if it is going wrong, I can say, look, we're a little bit behind, but we are going to recoup it. Yeah. And because it does, it's not black and white like all these people are telling you. That this is the date. This is the date because we know weather's going to be fine. All builders are going to get in. Everything's going to get done on time. Because what could happen tomorrow? We could end up with like 6 months of fucking snow in the UK.
Yeah, that's it. It's right, and I'm the same. So I've got four. There's 4 people invest for me, and every one of them, that'll be it now. As long as we can maintain a relationship long term, everyone's, and it's real funny. Like every one of them is so wildly different. It's bonkers. He's been in business 35 years. I won't say too much because privacy. But he's got a big company. Let's just say multiple units, and that's his thing. The other one, he's a coach himself. He invests with me, and so these two are very analytical. They want to know the numbers. They want to know this, want to know that. The other two, one of them, I don't think I didn't speak to him about a month and a half after. I couldn't get hold of him. He's just like, oh yeah, it's over here. And you're like, okay, real casual.
Do you want to know?
Like, do you want to know where you're at with it? He's like, no. He went, what did he say to me? He went, is it dusty? And I went, yeah, it's a shithole. And he went, I can't come in then. I was like, all right. And he went, ring me when there's plaster on the walls. And I was like, yeah, all right, mate.
I'll come when it's clean. I won't carpet down.
That was it.
And then I'll see it.
Just not. I took him to one place and he literally walked in and went, why the fuck have you brought me here? And he went, and he was in brand new gear. Like he's really, really like, he just looks immaculate all the time. And he come in and he looked around and he's like, why have you brought me here? And I went, I just wanted you to sit. He went, I don't need to, just take pictures. And he went, and I was like, for fuck's sake. Yeah. But just a real different mix.
Everybody's different. And that was something that I learned when I did my CMAP for mortgage broker.
Yeah. And
that was one of the things. It's risk assessment, and it's the people. It's knowing their risk.
Yeah,
that is one of the things that and I did it in insurance. Exactly the same risk. It's everybody's risk levels are different. Yeah, not everybody's the same, and you can stress test people. You can figure people out. Due diligence. That's what it's about. And like you said, you can actually figure someone out by just taking them for a meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How quick are they to pay?
Yeah.
Do they argue about bill?
Yeah.
These little things because if they're arguing about £2 on bill for a drink they didn't have, they wait till it comes to 200 grand.
That's
Do you know what I mean? And or take them for golf.
Yeah.
If they start cheating and dropping a ball somewhere, you know you're not going to do business with them.
That's it. And I think it's real good. I think when you get a bit further down the line, you can, like you said, you can pick and choose who you want to work with, and it's a nice place to be in. But when you start, and I did this, I jumped in with people and deals that weren't really that good, but I'm like, I'm doing it. But then you're like, I had a real good JV with an estate agent. We worked brilliant. We had a good little thing going on. And then I nearly got involved with somebody else, and it was just right at the end. Do literally you go, and I was like, this ain't right. There's something not right here. And I backed out of it. And right enough, it all materialised. A few months later, he was a bit of a knob. We couldn't work together. We just clashed constant, know. And I got out of it. But I was literally like, but it was one of them where I was like, right, we need to set up limited company, bank accounts, and you're like, you don't even work together. And you're jumping in, like, setting up a company for JVs. But like I said, one deal was, the ones with the agent, brilliant, because he was brilliant with the numbers, had the stock, knew what worked, that, and I'd be like, right, well, the build costs X, Y, Z. Yeah, good, let's go. And then other ones, you literally like, you just got to pick and choose. It's nice, isn't it, when you can pick and choose who you want to work with. But I think in your early days, you're that keen, aren't you?
Yeah.
That if someone goes, right, Johnny, I've got 40 grand here ready to go, you'd be like, right, let's go. And you're in.
I remember when we first started Rent to Rents, the first one we ever got, we were like, yeah, we'll pay that much rent. Yeah, we'll give you a deposit. Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do that. Nah, all that's changed.
Yeah.
We don't pay deposits. We get up to 3 months rent free up front because that's just how we work.
Yeah.
And because now we've got as many properties as we have, we've got the confidence to say we're not relying on your property now. You know what I mean? We needed you to start.
Yeah.
But when we're not relying on your property, this is how we work. It benefits you. This is what we do. And now we've got that confidence. And then, but I get a lot of like newbies coming up to me and saying, how do you do it? How do you have conversation? Like, even really close friend of mine, he'll say to me like, you've agreed what? Like, free rent? I'm like, yeah. He's like, how'd you do that? He's like, I've just done one and I've had to pay a deposit. I've had to pay this. I've had to pay that. And I'm like, I just tell them.
Yeah.
I'm telling them that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's how we work. If you want it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. Go and get a tenant in it.
Yeah.
And let them do what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Let them get in, not pay the rent, and come back to us 6 months later.
Exactly.
Yeah. We've just had a real funny one so partly, like, I'm a resident of Spain and here, so I go backwards and forwards, and we've just got an apartment there. And they give it the spiel of, we've got loads of people looking at this. What a sound. And I just went, all right, yeah, fine, that sound. You just go see them. Right, 5 days later, and you think, like you said there, you're like, you've danced this dance too many times before. I'll be here when you come back. And I think it was 12 months rent up front. It was 2 months deposit. It was this. And I went, so, right, okay. It was a rent to buy agreement, and it was all documented and whatnot. So I went, well, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And eventually it was basically no rent up front, 2 months deposit, and then your first day you pay your first month's rent. So basically it had gone from, it was a
full year.
Yeah, it was mental. But when you get older and you kind of like, but again, 5 years ago I'd have been like, don't worry, I'll sort it, I'll make it work. I'll go like sell me car wheels to pay for it. Don't worry about it, I don't need the car. Like,
so let's talk about that then. So you're between Hull, and Marbella,
Costa del
just
Hull.
outside Marbella.
Yeah,
Costa del Hull, and just outside Marbella. Is that right?
Yeah, about 5 miles out. Yeah.
And so, how are you finding that?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
it's mega. But I don't want to oversell it because I love the UK, but like we just said there, it's fucking hard, isn't it? Like, like, as expensive as Spain is, you're still a lot better off there than we are here. Like, you can go for a meal for free with 35 quid, whereas here, what would you get? A meal for one? It's insane. And it's the way I'm trying to structure it is basically because I've got a daughter over here. Is 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, but it doesn't always work out like that. You know what it's like. So, but yeah, it's just a different world. Like we've had it hard here, haven't we? Everyone has. And HMRC, the government, whatever else you want to get into is not getting any better.
Yeah.
And people are finding it harder, us included. And we literally my missus come home one day and she was literally like, I want to go, I want to move. So I was like, all right, yeah, give it 5 or 10 years. She said, no, I want to go now. I was like, okay. And she literally, we had a shop, we had business, we had everything. And within 6 months we'd gone and we was there. And it's just a different life. Like everybody's a lot more upbeat because although obviously Spain has its own problems with the government, it's just not as, I think the only way it's relentless here, isn't it? Every day you flick on the news and you're like, they've done what? They're doing what? And you see the logo? It's just cost 55 million to redo the government logo. Sure. And it's like they've changed the colour and moved the dot down.
Yeah.
And it's like
that helps poverty.
Yeah. And it's like, so the NHS can't be funded. There's old men and women freezing in their houses, kids, school dinner, all that type of shit. And it's like, it's just relentless. So we just literally went and I love it. But we don't even know if they'll stay there. It's like, now we've done it once, we're like, where else can we go? Like once you've done it, I think you think, it's like business, innit? Property, whatever, you think, I've done that now, I can do it again. So we might end up going somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's a different life.
So you're 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. Wow.
And then as time goes on, I want to do more. But I'm hoping my daughter comes with me eventually and just sees a bit more of it. But it's funny. Going back to the property side, we had a conversation last night. And she said to me, oh, when I get older, I want a house and blah, 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 and being able to go. She said, oh, can I stay in the one, it's Paul, the area. She said, can I stay in the Paul one? Can I live in that? And I was like, if you want, yeah, you can stay. And like, what a nice thing to be able to go. Yeah. Like we talk about the poverty, being able to go, yeah, you can if you want. That can be yours. Like, fair play to my mum and dad. Like, they raised me right. They worked hard. They did everything, but didn't have that, and that ability to go, yeah, you can have that one. That one, sure, one is a good thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping she goes, I'll come with you and just see what it's like. Because I don't know what the world will be like and jobs will be like for her when she's 18. Yeah. That's 4 years' time now, and the rate that AI is taking over most sort of jobs is crazy, isn't it? You've got, I think the jobs that'll stay will be like the manual sort of hand-based things.
I said this to my son because he's just left for college. Well, he's just started college last year. And I said to him, look, you've basically your choices are electrician, plumber, or joiner. You'd literally need one of them because AI's taking over everything else. And the plumbers, electricians, and joiners, there'll be ones driving around in Lamborghinis. Yeah. They will be the only people that jobs are safe because you need hands on.
Yeah, I think it's going to go, and I've spoke to a few people about this. They used to be the highest paid. Years ago, plumbers, joiners, they used to get high wages, but obviously as time's gone on, it's leveled out. But I think it's going to make a bit of a comeback because people aren't going to. Apparently, there's not. Statistically, there's not enough people getting into that industry and them industries. So you're going to have a demand. If Labour do ever get round to building these 1.5 million houses that they've promised for the last 20 years, you're going to have all these people needed to build them. And there's people, obviously, who arrive here, they're just unskilled labour, so they're not really any use to anything. So you're going to have all these kids in school and whatever else who are going to start having to fill this trade skills gap.
And there's that generation of fucking lazy. So lazy because they're seeing on social media and like what looks like easy money. Yeah. Like, I know what I want to do when I'm older. I want to get a Lamborghini and have a big house. And do you not know how you've got to get to there? Yeah. Like, no, it's all right. I can just film myself playing a video game. Yeah. And I'll make it. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Because like it's give a false perception of real life as well, isn't it? Because you look at you look at that type of thing on the internet, you look at socials and all this stuff, and you just think it's normal, but it's not. It's totally massively blown out of proportion of how easy it is to do. And you see, like you said, you see people walking on the blogging and I'm doing this today, I'm doing that, and like, there's got to be money come from somewhere to get to that point. It's not just you've gone to the bank. I'm going to be a blogger. Oh, there you go, mate.
Yeah. How much do you need? Blank check.
Yeah, but I've seen a bit of as well. Like, so my missus, she's involved. Like, she does some gold trading and crypto and whatnot, and that's another industry very like property, all smoke and mirrors. You see a lot of it, and I'll suss people out. Like if someone's like, there's this guy, look how much. Right, let's have a little look here. No, he's not. He was a fucking brickie 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's.
And I always say as well, I always think if you're good at something and you've made your money from it, why are you charging other people to show them how to do it?
Yeah. Well, that's
always been my mindset. Yeah. And I understand that there's a part where, like, you're a businessman and that becomes a business. And if you've got people to pay, I get that. But when you've made it and you're doing these videos online, you're like, oh, I made 20 million last year. Sign up now for £200 a month.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you need £200 a month for?
There's a line, isn't there? There is a line. Like you go, if you're, again, so like if you're doing, I don't know, I'll just use this. So if you've got property coaching and you're going through, like I always think of like you're going through the ranks, right? You go through the ranks and then you teach people, and that might not end up being the end goal. It might be, if you start making 20 million in property, the chance that you probably ain't got the time to sit and do the coaching. But like a lot of this, especially like crypto and whatnot, it's like, oh, here's my £1 million villa, and you're thinking, you're not sat down on a Teams call on a Friday night when you're clearly balling, like you to have to make 200 quid off these people. But it's a funny thing. It's a funny age, innit? Like I think the internet is, and again, I don't know whether this is statistically correct, but probably one of the primary money making sources of all time right now. So anybody's jumping on it and trying to make as much as they can with what they've got at hand. Like whether it be like with us, it's property, but we're trying to do it in a genuine way. Some people are just literally like, I've seen people doing like even people trying to package up auction deals as their own deals, and you're like, how does that even work?
How does that work?
I don't know. But like, we've got this.
But then you've got to go to auctioneer and bid.
Yeah. That it don't work, does it?
Unless it's an off-market agreed price.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what? I'm showing you something that you could potentially bid on.
Yes.
There's no agreed price.
No, and again, it's like, where's the connect? Like where do they make their bit? Like, I've introduced you to the auction house. Just go down to auction house.
I've introduced you to auction house. Give me £3,000.
But I think as well. I think like it's just somebody's entry. Like, I could make a bit of money doing this. Yeah. And they just try. And I think a lot of people, if you've not got if you haven't got something to give, I think a lot of the, not call it pressure, but people want to try and get into something, so they'll just do with whatever they've got at hand. And sometimes it works, doesn't it? I mean,
I mean, I am all for people trying out new, different strategies, but I'm not in for people ripping other people off.
No, that's you soon. I mean, you see it, don't you? You soon get found out. Like you literally, and your name's mud. And I'd like to see you never work again, but some people who pop up and it's, they've done this, this, and this, and then you see them 6 months later trading under a different name, with a different thing, and they're back, and they're going again, and you're like, but I think that's more for them, for people who invest in it, and not even just financially, but emotionally. They get involved, because I always, whatever I'm doing, I'll always dig into it and I'll have a look and, what does he do? I used to do that, right? Oh, you doing anybody who knows? So-and-so knows it. Like, always do a bit of background. Again, it's due diligence, isn't it? You'll do it with every aspect of your life. I think it just comes with the territory now, with what we do. You'll suss out a property, you'll suss out the person who comes with part of that property. You know what I mean? Like, you just it's like a bit of a constant, not paranoia, but you know what I mean? You're just a bit more wary, aren't you? I think.
Yeah. So we're getting close to end. One question I want to ask, if you could go back to your teenage self and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
It would be, be a good lad. Don't make your mum and dad cry. That would be it, because I was a little shit for a long time. And I would dare say it was probably that driving ban and going offshore. Up to that point, I was a little fucker. And that's all I'll say. Look after your mum and dad and don't make them cry.
Love that. Love that. Absolutely love that. That says a lot about you, man. I like that. I like that. Yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming on.
No, thanks for having us on.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
nice
we could
one.
keep going and going. Couldn't we bang the world's right?
We'll stay tuned for part 2.
Yeah.
Nice one, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.